history. You want to go back to October 24th, 1940. That was the day, believe it or not, when the 40-hour work week became the law of the land in these great United States of America. That law, the Fair Labor Standards Act, is arguably the most consequential piece of legislation designed to protect and enshrine worker rights. And the core of that bill was the establishment of a minimum wage of 25 cents an hour, a prohibition of oppressive child labor, and a mandate to pay time and a half overtime to any worker who puts in more than 40 hours a week. FDR, in signing the bill, called it the most important part of his New Deal since the Social Security Act of 1935. And while there were plenty of exemptions to the work hour rules, the law and its numerous amendments over the years have held up. While signed in 1938 and revised and put into effect on this day in 1940, the idea of an 8-hour workday and a 40-hour work week started to unfold more than a century earlier. That was during the Industrial Revolution, when putting in 80 to 100 hours a week, that was the norm. But by the mid-1800s, activists had made enough progress on this issue to convince President Ulysses S. Grant to issue a proclamation guaranteeing 8-hour workdays for government employees. Now, that decision on government employees encouraged private sector workers to push for the same rights. Now, it was not without drama, though. Most famously, we know that state law in Illinois back in 1886 mandating 8-hour workdays led to a revolt by corporate titans, which led to a revolt by workers and ultimately violence by police, culminating in the deadly Haymarket Affair. But by the turn of the 20th century, corporations actually began to warm up to the idea of a shorter work week, and partly that was because of research popularized by Henry Ford, who showed that working longer yielded only a small temporary increase in productivity. But when you paid workers more and you improved their working conditions, that created a bigger and more permanent boost to employee output.